Welcome back to the Great Green Home Show. We are sitting here this morning talking to Charlie Szoradi, who has the world's most awesome green website called greenandsave.com.
For your home.
Greenandsave.com, spelled out just like it sounds. I do have a question on a more personal note. Didn't you and Paul's brother...
Here we go.
Didn't you and Paul's brother both go to college together?
Doug, you hit it. Mark
UV,
Paul's brother was down.
How prophetic was that? Ultraviolet. You went to
University of Virginia.
University of
State
Virginia.
School down in Charlottesville. We loved it down there and learned a few things from Thomas Jefferson.
I drove down many times to help the young lads out with their education.
Paul tells me he finds it a small miracle that you're both still alive.
That's right. That's right.
And have children, which scares me immensely.
Greenandsave.com. So anyway. So where were we? We had done the first one.
Second level, I think?
Second level. We're
now, explain the levels again and then blend into the second level.
The idea with the website is if someone comes in, they just want to get started to tune up their house, there's a light green section. 10 things that have a payback within just the first year or two.
And when you say tune up, you mean take something that needs to be fixed or hasn't been done that will pay you back but is green, saves energy.
That's right.
Saves
could be the light
carbon.
bulbs, could be some filters, could be something as simple as a programmable thermostat.
Okay.
Those are the things that don't impact the architecture.
Okay.
The next here is about maybe getting into some systems and remodeling. So if someone, for example, is thinking about replacing a room with the new floors or a kitchen with countertops, there's all kinds of real good options. And our mission is, in a way, to say, think about style and function, not just saving the environment. So the criteria for picking materials.
So you can be green and stylish.
With function as well. So one great example is if you're doing a bathroom or if you're looking to tune up a system, who likes to run out of hot water? You know, what a pain in the ass. All of a sudden now you can have a tankless or an on-demand hot water heating system. And it turns out the Europeans and the Asian communities have used these for years.
Right.
Well, what it does is it heats the water when you need it. So instead of saying, geez, I like to eat spaghetti, I'm going to leave water boiling on my stove all day in the case I want to drop some pasta in there. Well, this is more like a microwave. You boost it right when you need it. And what happens is you get endless water. I love this story because we use it now. And, you know, with the family in the morning at rush hour, you never run out of water. You spend a few $100s extra for this tank versus the old school system. And now what happens is you get a payback, and they think you reduce from all the data we've seen from government reports and university studies in our own house. You pay about half the cost of heating the water.
That's unbelievable.
Over the course of the
because
year.
your hot water heater stays on all the time.
And there are state and federal government rebates and credits that get added to that.
So this one is classic. Out of all the 60 things we picked, this one is a great example of how it hits the criteria. Saves you money.
I have a question for
the
master.
environment because you're using less power to burn less coal, all those good things, and you have great style and function.
I have a question for the master here.
You go ahead.
In Canada, they have a microwave system for heating water.
I've heard about this.
And it's not UL approved in there. I wouldn't say they're trying to keep it out of the country, but it's a great system. You talk about economics. It's even less than that. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't. You know, the only reason the UL doesn't approve it is there may be some fire hazards, so why not wait? Let those guys, I trust the federal
Let the Canadians burn their houses down.
Like the fact that it's taken a decade for the Asian and the Europeans to get this system right with the Takagi.
We've only lost 200 people in the last 10 years.
I say we let the Canadians test it, eh?
Yeah, right. Why do we have to be first?
What happened to your house? Well, I was heating my water and I blew it up.
But another great one for homeowners that may be listening is if they're even thinking in the spring, you know, or this winter about painting a room.
Okay.
You know, zero VOC, which is the toxic-free paint.
Okay, VOC, volatile organic
compounds.
That's the stuff that makes you sick.
Right, and so what they're
can
learning
give you cancer.
Kids are getting allergies, people are having respiratory problems.
My wife has asthma.
And Doug's
when I
autistic.
paint a room, she can't be in a room anywhere in the house. She can't be in the house for like a week.
Indoor air quality, they think, with the
Sick
really
house.
Environmental Protection Agency, we read all the reports and post them on the site and everything, is 3 to 4 times as bad or worse than outdoor air quality.
Which is not so good.
So what happens is, imagine you've got a bucket of paint, it's a gallon, it's $20. For an extra $2, you can get the zero VOC paint. All the major brands are now carrying the eco lines. It's really the eco-friendly paint.
And it's all the same. I mean, it's still, you've got a white paint that you can tint to any color, same exact thing.
But just imagine you're going to spend a few $100s on the labor, your own time painting a room. An extra couple dollars is a fraction. And if you save one trip, one copay to the doctor,
right,
the offset might be a $25 trip. You've gotten your money back in year one.
And it's not off-gassing, which is mean it's not just emanating this toxic fumes the whole time. It's not just 2 days after you paint. This stuff keeps coming out of those toxic paints.
Absolutely,
all the time.
too. The other one that's one of my favorites is the sun tubes. These, some people call them the sun tunnels. Instead of just a skylight, it looks like a sort of a recessed light up in your ceiling, but it's got the NASA-like foil that wraps the inside of the tube. And you bring the light down. It's a gorgeous look because it's flush mounted to the ceiling, so it meets the style criteria. They cost a few $100s. So again, the payback comes in not having to put in a light fixture and running electricity. Save the environment, save your money. It's a great call.
Let's move to the next tier, which is probably scary for people. But let's
talk
about
is this forest
dark
green?
green. The next tier, let's talk about ROI, because like solar and stuff, people are saying, "Oh, it's so expensive. I've only got a few dollars left," but the return on investment is so much better than you're investing in anything else, stocks, bonds, anything like that. So give us a few of those.
I'll give you an example of our situation, and it may apply to many people here in the Wilmington, Delaware area. Because what happens is with solar, heating water up is a lot easier than making electricity from the sun.
True.
So we have the coils on the roof. They're panels. They look like giant skylights. And when we heard that segment about the church, here's the radiant floor. The water comes down inside the house to the pipes, and it coils through the floor.
And it's heated by the sun. It's
heated
free.
by the sun. So that's a freebie. Now, we have a redirect system with a tank where we can also use it for the shower.
Get out of here.
And the dishwasher and the washer dryer.
And you have low flow, all those, so it doesn't take much.
Now, do each of those have like a booster so you could make your water hot instead of just warm?
Then what happens is the sun brings it in usually in the 100-degree range.
Okay.
You need about 110 to typically get a shower. So we have that flash heater, the on-demand heater we were just talking about.
It doesn't have to work as hard because the water's already warm coming in.
It's a 10-degree boost. It's
a beautiful thing.
Look at that.
So that is very elegant. We also then have a photovoltaic solar panel system running the pumps to move the water through
so
the
you're
house.
using the sun to create electricity to move the water that was heated by the sun to give you a shower when you need to.
It's pretty incredible. I mean,
how come your Irish
smells
accent
good.
is
He
so
does
much
smell
better
good
now
today.
than it was during
the basically off the grid. You're using the sun to heat your home.
Doug's
You're
been
using
off the
the
grid
sun
for years.
with electricity to generate for air conditioning and your fans, your whole house fans, to cool your home. Using the sun to heat the water.
So give us a little.
And it's pretty interesting. So here are the numbers.
Rate of return.
It was a $35,000 solar system.
Okay.
We got a $20,000 grant through the Sustainable Development Fund, which we link to right on the site.
Right.
Then you get a $5,000 cut back from PICO.
Right.
And you get a $2,000 tax credit. $9,000.
$9,000
to power your house.
Isn't that
for the
unbelievable?
next 30
That's
years.
unbelievable.
It's incredible.
CMI Electric, CMI Solar. I'll plug it in right there.
And how much more money does that? I mean, not only does that, how much does that save you over those? That's incredible.
Well, imagine
these people, at $9,000. What's the payback?
The payback comes
like 4 years.
It depends how you run it, and you compare it to a neighbor who's paying $700, $800, $900 a month in oil bills for the winter.
And here's the kicker.
Payback's faster. So
when we move to electric cars. Don't you want to run those electric hybrids and plug in electric hybrids off the solar?
I've got a 2.5-year-old son, and I've got an electric car we're bringing in for the spring, and I want to have the TV camera come and watch me unplug the car in the morning from the solar panels as I drive off to work.
Absolutely.
But this is a house that looks, by the way, very traditional.
greenandsave.com. You've got to visit the site, and he's always changing it and adding pictures of his family. Something going on there.
So anyway... we would like to thank our sponsors, SunTrust Mortgage of Christiana, CMI Solar Electric, Energy Services Group, MyEcoAgent.com, Option Insurance Group, and obviously our guest today, Charlie Szoradi of greenandsave.com.
We're going to have back. He didn't say enough.
We also need to thank our studio crew, our engineer, John LaMonica, and our producer, Brooke Chase. Please join us next week when our guest will be Catherine Maroney of Ecos Corp. Ecos Corp. Who'll be here to talk to us about the greening of corporate America.
And governments. She's high uppity and helping DuPont and a bunch of other people. Well, not uppity, but, muckety. She's been dealing with the upper levels of large corporations and getting them changed over to green. She's done a great job.
Well, we're gonna listen to her with great interest next week. So everybody, please have a wonderful weekend. And Charlie, thanks again for being here.
Doug, thanks.